just in time for the latest in sports, both happening local and beyond. A very fantastic Saturday afternoon, and welcome to the touchline on Y254. My name is Maxwell Wasika. An epic show lined up this particular afternoon. You don't want to miss, of course, happening every Saturday 1 to 3, keeping it sporty and telling you the headlines of the sport across various sporting disciplines. Of course, a lot is happening as far as this weekend is concerned. Intermedia currently underway at Kasarani Stadium, and I'm reliably informed our mother station KBC being represented by, a very strong squad led by Daniel Wahome, whom I'm being told now that this particular afternoon is a physiotherapist. But also Varsity League is underway at Kenyatta University, not forgetting the Floodies quarters entering into quarterfinals, and of course the first clash pits Homeboys Rugby Football Club against Nakuru RFC aka Wanyore, then KCB later on play against Mwamba in what is expected to be a mouth-watering clash of the weekend. Stay tuned, we're going to be keeping you informed with regards to results, outcomes of all those. Tomorrow the epic duel, an exciting showdown pitting our very own the national team Harambee Stars playing against Ethiopia in one of the 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifier. Kenya, remember, the last time it participated in Continental Championship was 14 years down the line in 2004 under tutelage of Jacob Ghost Mulee, and probably they're looking forward to a victory so that they can qualify to 2019 edition in Cameroon. Of course, joining me right now are people form an integral part as far as Kenyan football is concerned. You've heard about them. They played football for the national team for several clubs locally. Simon Sepe Mulama at the middle, featuring for Madara United, the Slum Boys, AFC Leopards as well, and the national team. Alongside Matthew Otomax, Kenyan one. Of course, he also featured prominently for local clubs and the national team, Harambee Stars. Good afternoon, gentlemen. Good to join me. Starting with you, Sepe. How have you been? I've
been good. Thanks for having me, my friend. Long time.
Otomax, long time. Second time you are appearing on this particular show. How have you been?
Not bad. Just
not bad.
Here and there.
Of course, we're going to get into the nitty-gritties as far as 2019 African Cup of Nations pitting Kenya against Ethiopia tomorrow. But before that, the headlines of the week. Kenya played against Ethiopia in midweek. They beat them. They drew a barren draw, and they're looking forward to a return leg tomorrow. What do you assess of that clash in Ethiopia during the first leg?
Considering we haven't had a very good run playing away from home, especially in real competitive matches, not friendly matches. I think it was an okay result, bearing in mind that we play the same team. We have a return leg match at home. We have an opportunity to turn the scores, so I think it was an okay. Also, looking at the table, how this the table stands, our group with Ghana and Kenya and Ethiopia, a draw for us definitely was a plus, and for Ethiopia it really wasn't a very good result. So all that being the backdrop, I think it was a good result.
Matthew Otomax, I know you prominently featured for the national team. You are custodian standing in between the two posts. What are your thoughts on the performance of the national team away in Ethiopia, considering that the crowd was so much charged and heated?
Well, I'll echo Sepe's sentiment in my own words. I'll say I like the way we did our calculation, because playing away has been tricky for our national team, even the years when we were playing. So I think we went for a point, which we got, and the cautious approach is what we wanted to give us the 0-0 or the 1 point that we needed, so that we can finish the job here at home.
Of course, the team jetted back on Thursday evening at the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport, and several players, among them the captain and the midfield linchpin for Tottenham Hotspur's Victor Mugubi Wanyama, alongside Michael Engineer Olunga, former Gor Mahia striker, now featuring overseas, spoke ahead of tomorrow's clash, and we're gonna take a look and see what they had to say, including even the coach Sebastian Minye alongside FKF President Nick Mwendo. Let's take a look and listen in to what they said ahead of tomorrow.
We know it will not be easy, but we'll play at home. I hope it will make the difference one moment. We need to improve our link-up offensively. It's sure we are strong now defensively since a few games with some clean sheets. It was my priority when I arrived in the country, because if you remember, you You concede 2 goals against Sierra Leone, 2 against Comor, 3 against CAR. And now, since a few games, it's better. Now we need to develop a better football offensively, but for that, you know, all the coach need times. Only 2 days before this game, it was short, you know, but will work.
First of all, I think I have to congratulate all the team, because you know the character of the players and the mentality of the players. You know, they are really strong, because with that crowd, managing the game like that is not easy. Because it was a tough game. The crowd, they were always behind them from the first minute, but the players showed that they are matured and they give their best. The results, they were okay, but that's the first leg, so we still have a job to do come Sunday.
Of course, sasa wachezaji wana believe that this is our time. Unajua tuna chance, a huge chance ya kuqualify, but the game is not yet over. Like you say, like tuliona game Ethiopia walikuwa pia very dangerous, hatuwezi wa underrate, but itakuwa ni 90 minutes, na like we say tunaomba tu mafans wetu wakam in large numbers on Sunday or to support. We can do it, tulifanya before against Ghana, na it's still possible, we can still do it again. So tunawaaji tu waendelee kutupatia hiyo backup, na pia si in the field tutajaribu wa level best.
For 3 years we have been playing away for almost 3 years now, and the one thing that has not been right with us is that we have the same team, we had the talent, but we could not mentally squeeze through the result we want. And in an environment of 60,000-70,000 fans, to get out with the point you're looking for is exactly what you're looking for. And so congratulations to the boys, the job they did, the strength they had to pull through, because I think we were 20 fans from Kenya against 70,000 fans. It makes a big difference. It's a good thing the president, I spoke to the minister earlier today, and the president gave a directive today that we give the game for free to the fans, and we're going to do exactly that. I've received the communications directive, we're going to do that. It will be free for fans except in special areas that they're not supposed to enter, but otherwise it will be free for fans. We will give a proper communique on Saturday on how we'll operate the day, because it's easy to say it's free, but what if we are 150,000 of us? What are we going to do? There are many other things now we have to put in place in the advent of the president's directive today. I am thankful that the president has given a directive and he's now on board to say I am part of the process. The boys are happy that he has done so. I am also informed that they have sent us the money we were asking for to see through this fixture. And so I want to see that happening tomorrow, and tomorrow we're going to top gear to plan for this game. We want to see fans in their colors.
It was brought to our attention by the President of Football, and I want to say the ministry has, under the leadership of Echesa and my good friend Kaberia here, brought the issues to us. And the allowances that were expected for this match to move on, though it delayed initially, but all the monies now have been released by yesterday. A total of 25 million shillings is now available for you guys to prepare for this match, and all the other allowances will be paid. And going forward, we know we have 2 commitments we have made. One is that we must have an official bus for Harambee Stars. And I want to commit that next month that bus will be available for your use. Secondly, we did agree that if you do what you must do, you know what we agreed. What did we agree? Hiyo. Kumbe hamjasahau. Ndio nimekuja hapa kudhibitisha ya kwamba mkifanya hivyo, if you give us this win, the government of Kenya is going to give 50 million shillings to Harambee Stars.
Deputy President William Ruto sounding tickling as usual, speaking to the players and technical bench of the national team Harambee Stars, while, you know, promising them goodies after they win tomorrow's clash. Of course, promising them 50 million Kenyan shillings after they qualify to 2019 African Cup of Nations qualifier. That will be forming the basis of our discussion once we're done with sports pages. Of course, the nitty-gritties and technical aspects of the game a few hours before Kenya take on Ethiopia. But away from that, still to matters football, FC Leopards yesterday had a press conference where they highlighted about several issues, some of them saying that denying claims they have suspended, or rather fired, the entire technical bench and suspended 5 players, amongst them their lead top scorer Ezekiel Odera. And at least, fortunately, we have one man who's been a goalkeeping coach for the FC Leopards this ending season, Matthew Otomax. Matthew Otomax, before we get to hear what the report filed by our very own Bernard Okum, what do you make of the season for the Leopards?
I'll say we had a bright start. The future looked bright, I can say that. But towards the end, I don't know how to explain it, because things started falling down. So we had blame games cropping, players, technical bench, the office, to the extent fans.
So things went haywire. Simon Sepe Mlama, you prominently featured for FC Leopards. What are your thoughts with regards to their performance? Because FC Leopards has always been finishing second, third, and their top priority has always been overall getting crowned champion, something that they haven't achieved because Gor Mahia Football Club has dominated headlines of Kenyan football. What are your thoughts?
I think Leopards got the results that they deserved. They finished in a spot that they deserved. My friend Matthew Otomax, I think, will agree with me that getting results is not something that happens overnight. You don't come to the camp or to the training field on Friday with 3 million shillings and split amongst the players and expect them to win today, tomorrow, and the other day. So it's something that you build up for some time. Leopards hasn't found a way to do that. Firing a coach beginning of the season after a few matches, replacing players every other day. Seemingly not having mid-term and long-term plan for the team. And, finishing where they did finish, getting the results that they did get, I think that's what you get when you do not prepare well. So where they are right now, I think they deserve it.
We're going to take a look and see the report filed by Bernard Okum with regards to yesterday's conference, of course, where the executive committee members led by Secretary General Oscar Igaida and organizing secretary Timothy Lilumbu spoke about a myriad of issues pertaining the team, saying that they will be hiring a coach just before the preseason. Let's take a look and listen in.
Coach Adolfo Zapata at the end of a dismal season after 6 months in charge, and his predecessor is being sought with his unveiling expected next month.
We intend to get a coach before the preseason. The coach we get will be there before the preseason.
Ingwe finished the season in 7th position, and the pressure is on the current office, whose term expires in June 2019, to deliver after a disappointing 2018 campaign that saw the club fail to defend the FKF Shield title, and their 20-year KPL title wait persists.
It's towards the end of the season that we slipped down to the 7th position, mainly because we believe because of the injuries we had. We also think that there was political infiltration from these people who are interested in leadership in AFC Leopards, and that's why we're urging them to hold their horses and wait for the time to come.
The club's National Executive Committee, while outlining 2019 plans, revealed that an elaborate reward scheme has been set up to arrest disruptions that arise due to the non-payment of bonuses. The officials admitted owing the players 9-month allowance amounting to 1.9 million shillings.
We've come with something called a reward scheme, and we shall be having a retreat very soon with the players, whereby we shall explain to them. We believe this will be the long-term solution. The best will be to get an additional sponsor. But before we get there, we've come with a reward scheme which we want to sit with the players on the technical bench and explain to them how we've come up with it, so that this problem can be sorted once and for all.
Ahead of the new season, Ingwe is set to recruit 6 players and release 11 others who might include Captain Duncan Otieno, who is in Zambia pursuing a move. Bernard Okumu, The Sport at 9.
FC Leopards Executive Committee led by Secretary General Oscar Igaida and Timothy Lilumbi, the organizing secretary, alongside Oliver Imbenzi, the treasurer, speaking yesterday during the conference, highlighting about several issues pertaining the team. They will be hiring a coach. They didn't disclose whether it will be home-based or foreigner before the preseason. It's a development that we want to be keeping an eye on and see how it pans out. But as we wind up on the sports pages, remember, African Cup of Nations Rugby is currently underway. Kenya Sevens taking on Botswana in a Group A tie. Remember, Morocco is also in that particular tie. The game has just started a few minutes ago. We want to be keeping you posted with the outcome of that clash. Remember, last year Kenya didn't participate because they were guaranteed of qualifying for World Cup, that they didn't perform very well in San Francisco, but that tournament having been won by Uganda, who are also participating and looking forward probably to retain the title. Stay tuned. This is the Touchline. My name is Maxwell Wasike. Join our social media handles at Wasike Maxwell, Touchline Y254, hashtag Touchline Y254, and talk to us. Tell us about what is happening in your neighborhood as far as matter sports in the country is concerned, and you can also send in your predictions as far as Kenya-Ethiopia clash is concerned. Don't go away, stay tuned. Coming up next, Know Your Sport, the amputee football, preparing right now for World Cup in Mexico that will be kicking off in about 1 week from now. Don't go away, stay tuned.